I always like to go to the door in the morning to get a breath of fresh air. Whew, brisk and refreshing. Got us a thin layer of ice on the porch, and the streets are covered. Whew, it's cold. These seem to be doing okay, but the soil is frozen. They'd be okay in the ground, but it started snowing before I was able to do that. Did manage to get some things done before it snowed, so let's take a look at a few of them. And this is one where a petunia lasted into the fall, and it was just there to fill in, and its season was about over. Got the fire pansy in here. See how the petals look like just flames dancing on those petals? Some winter berries and that scarlet red. Nice. Now this pot here is festive, and it's nice for Christmas and Valentine's Day. That red and white is a stunner. I have some other fire pansies here mixed in with some scarlets. I mean some sangrias in the lilac blue. Our garden center had so many different colors to choose from. It's nice to be able to go through there and see almost everything that you want to get. Got these royal purples and this matrix light blue. They had some white violas, but we didn't get those because we were able to find the pansies with the much bigger petals. So, as usual, just making sure that these get fertilized while the temperature is up and they're able to absorb the fertilizer. Got my gallon jug with the Miracle-Gro Garden, the liquid fertilizer, the liquid soluble. These are the matrix orange here. And we're just waiting for the ground to thaw out so I can put those in. Now on this pot I have some violas that made it into the spring. Well, they usually go into the mid-spring. And I'm just filling in this space with a petunia that will trail over the side and, add some character to this pot. See, this pot has some violas in here along with the petunia, just showing how you can put, in the transition of the seasons, you can put flowers that grow during the spring and summer with flowers that grow during the fall and winter, and just let them perform until they can't. Look at that. Now this is the early spring. We have some creeping Jenny here and some violas. Now you can see that these are starting to get leggy and their season is about over. So petunias, pansies. Here's some pansies that are the same color as those violas we were just looking at. And you can see that the petals are a lot bigger. They require the same watering. Water them twice a week, depending on how dry the air is. And just don't let the soil completely dry out. And if the soil does dry no further than an inch, you want to remove those dead leaves from the bottom. And I mean, a lot of people say that it will just turn into compost, but if they start to get slimy, then the other foliage will get slimy also. And you want airflow between those leaves, and just go under and check for pests and just pull out those dead leaves. We have some creeping Jenny here hanging over. This is how it looked during the summer, but now the fall has arrived and we just cut it back. We leave that in because it's a perennial and it'll grow back. On this pot, we had some sun patience. Had way more blooms than this, and switched those out with pansies. We have the blue and white in here. It's a nice combination. Definitely gonna have to check to see how this one did after the snow. Geranium on the pedestal. Now, we had those around the fire pit. Last summer, they really performed. But now, it's time to switch those out. So, we went with a darker blue, which is almost like a purple and white, and switched that out with this big geranium, which was finished. And it's time for those to perform. Have that dark center with the yellow middle with the white. These look really nice on the entrance. And just look at that color right there. We have some different shades of purple in here, and this is really nice. It's going to look good on that entrance. And little flurry of snow, but that's no problem for these pansies as long as they're in the ground. Now, when it's cold and that cold air can get to the roots, then we have a different scenario. In all cases, they're better off in the ground than up where the cold air can get to the roots. Full sun. 6 or more hours of sunlight, and they're really showing off in this pot right here. Where this pot's sitting, it gets, I would say about 8 hours of sunlight, and these are going to really fill this pot out. And this is a nice color combination here too. This yellow here is more of a buttery yellow, and you have 2 shades of yellow, then you have the beacons in there and some scarlet. Absolutely wonderful. We got these other yellow that we were at the garden center, and at night they just really glow. You can use these for moon gardens and brightening up some areas in your garden where you have a lot of dark, bold colors. These will really bring them out, and it's a nice contrast. And the yellows that we've had this year, we had more of a darker yellow. This yellow makes it look orange. That's your matrix yellow. Then we had the yellow with the blotch. You see that there's 3 shades of yellow there. And there's also a pale washed out yellow that we didn't use this year, but those are also good too. Now, this is our mix of colors that we used one fall on the front, and it's really nice. This combination of colors is good from fall. It'll get you through the winter, and then going into spring is a nice spring color as well. Now, on this porch, we have our white pansies with this blue. Look at that color. This blue is fantastic, and we got those this fall, and I'm waiting to see what they look like after the snow too. They're in a pot, and we'll see, because the snow was down for like 4 days, and we'll just have to see how those look. We're doing updates. A window box here with the purple and yellow contrast. We alternated those colors, and those will fill this flower box up nicely. Thanks for cleaning up my mess. Wasn't on film, but I almost dropped a pot, and when I caught it, it smashed against the wall and wasn't damaged, but there was a lot of dirt, and Janice is stepping in and being a good Samaritan. Thanks, Janice. Here's another look at the different shades of purple here. Look at them side by side. The white and these hulls that we have had with the pansies have been fantastic, and we're going to do some updates to see how they performed after the snow. The snow was down, then it started to melt. That's how it is in zone 7. We do get snow, but then it melts, and every once in a while it may hang around for a little while. Yep, so I'm glad that it's melting so we can get these flowers in the ground. I still have those matrix orange, and they look a little stressed right now, but they will be ready to go when I plant them. Just keeping them alive till then. Got the pots wrapped with a couple of shirts around the bottom, and they're getting that sun through the window. Things are going to be looking a little better tomorrow because the temperatures are starting to warm up some, and once the ground is thawed out, we can get them planted, and you'll see how they perk up. Looking out at the lake, had some geese out there on that thin ice, and that's going to be a wrap for this one. I hope you enjoyed our little before and afters and this mishmash of installs. Going to close out with a coleus that we're going to use when it warms up. Love that multicolored coleus with that pink, the plum color, and that green perimeter.